Hi, my name is Libbi Lange, and I wanted to share a little bit about our time in EDL 710. During this course, I have learned to look at education not just from a teaching standpoint, but as a leader of a school. I now walk through the halls of legacy with a different perspective, and it has really shifted the way I work in my classroom by viewing lessons from beginning to end, thinking about where I would fall on Boyle's matrix, and if I were administrator, how would I handle the problems that I run into daily. I will use what I've learned by focusing on which type of learning styles I have sitting in my classroom and working to give each type of student an opportunity to learn in a way that connects with their brain the best. I really loved focusing on McTighe's lesson design of planning with the end in mind. I loved reading through his notes and applying his ideas in my classroom. I also loved unpacking a standard and evaluating how I could use different methods of teaching to approach the standard to reach different types of learners. I will apply my learning by working to plan lessons that reach all types of learners, bettering myself by challenging my teaching style, and spreading the knowledge of McTighe's ideas to my peers. One thing I wish I had learned more about is different practices to reach multiple learning styles. I loved the section about identifying those students, but I would have loved to go further with it and been challenged to come up with different ideas about how to reach those students' individual needs. As I stated before, I use McTighe's ideas daily in my classroom. For example, the last 2 weeks we have worked on our culminating writing task for the guidebook unit, The American Revolution. Using McTighe's designs daily, I brought my students back to our prompt, which is posted on the wall in big, bold letters, and we talked about how the things we worked on that day were going to help us reach our desired end result. When it came time for my students to do their pre-writing, they were already familiar with the prompt and they were ready to go. Another way that I applied what I have learned is using Boyle's matrix. Early in the course, we were asked to think of a teacher we worked with and where they would fall on the matrix. This was very tough for me because I'm a new teacher, and so often I feel like experienced teachers are so far ahead of me. I found myself placing my name on that matrix, and when I faced a problem in the classroom, I thought about where I would fall. If I did not fall in the high skill, high will section, I worked to figure out how I could get there. This often led me to be more confident in asking my curriculum coordinator for help. Also, reading through the scenarios that the NYC Leadership Academy provided, I believe that Boyle's matrix would be helpful when deciding where to place teachers, who to place them with, and how to help them grow into highly effective teachers when the time comes for me to make those decisions. Finally, the third way I will apply the knowledge I have found in this course is by opening my eyes and realizing that as an administrator, distributed leadership is ultimately the way to find success. Tracy, you said this in our very first Zoom meeting and is in my notes with a big heart next to it because delegating is one of my weaknesses. There were parts in every lesson that allowed me to see that a school has to work as a unit, including support staff, administrators, and especially teachers. I believe the best way that I could apply this in the future is by giving the appropriate people, such as my administrative staff and curriculum coordinator, the jobs of observing teachers and keeping notes, just like John Wooten did, and coming up with plans for specific teachers to help them grow to their highest potential. The observers do not have to be experts in the content, just the practice of teaching. Eileen Hong and Susanna Loeb's New Thinking About Instructional Leadership stated that principals often find themselves unsuccessful because they are trying to master all content, but they should just look at how the materials are being delivered. I will evaluate the success, keeping the end in mind and keeping myself pinned on Boyle's matrix. These are ideas that I can assess daily. Do my students know where we're going and how we're going to get there? Am I being the type of teacher that is willing to learn new things? And do I understand the content knowledge? I can check my student success by asking them questions and how the lessons are going to help us all be successful. I can also work closely with my administration to ensure that I am working to be the best educator that I can be. As far as assessing other teachers, that is tough for me to do right now. In the future, I plan to work closely with my peers to ensure that our teacher staff is receiving the best support for their individual needs. I have shared the ideas of planning backwards and talk about it often with my team as we are planning during PLC time. As a school leader, I will plan curriculum, instruction, and assessment by ensuring that my teachers are highly equipped with the proper resources to be successful. I will use student data, not just assessment data, but social data, such as economic and socioeconomic details, to keep in mind what we are working with and how we need to adapt the way we present the materials to meet every student's needs. Bill Gates' TED Talk really put a heavy weight on my heart that teachers are not being given enough feedback. I would love to come up with a better system for my school to make sure that teachers are receiving feedback so they know how to improve their practice. Overall, have really enjoyed this course, and I'm very thankful for the growth and new knowledge that I have gained. Thank you so much for helping me during our time together.